Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Body is a Book. It's a cold day in San Francisco. Our summers here are so cold, and here I am wearing a sweater. I think not like 20, 30 miles away from here is like 90-degree weather today. I'm so ready for some warm weather. Anyway, I'm really excited to talk to you about today's topic. We are going to talk about how to help facilitate somatic awareness. A lot of people are not somatically aware. And so doing somatic body work actually becomes a little bit more challenging because if someone doesn't have somatic awareness, then doing that work, I guess it's at the beginning of the work to do kind of somatic body work. The hard part about it is if someone doesn't know how to feel the emotions in their body or the traumas in their body or how traumas have affected their bodies, then doing somatic exercises or moving into the somatic realm is really hard because they don't even feel anything. It might as well be all in their heads. And really, as you might have seen from some of my previous videos, there's such an obvious mind-body connection. It's just fact that some people don't necessarily have that connection. So again, today I want to talk about how to kind of start working with that, how to start facilitating, helping people to become a little bit more somatically aware. So there's more obvious things and just one more detailed thing. The more obvious things are things like deep breathing or breath work. I don't know if any of you have ever heard of holotropic breath work, but that really gets people to have big emotional things, and it's not in their heads. It's so emotional from their bodies, which is oftentimes why people have really potent experiences, because it's such a body experience and people really tend to feel their emotions with their bodies. That can be too much. That can be too much too soon, especially for people who are working with more complex traumas or for people who are kind of easily affected by stuff. It's very, very strong medicine. And so you don't have to go as far as holotropic, but you can do just lighter, full, deep breaths. And just by really breathing deep, like that in a pattern for a few minutes, people really tend to start to feel their bodies a little bit more and tend to feel their emotions a little bit more. They're able to come into the present moment. There's even, some people meditate just on breath. They use breath for their meditation. It's because it brings them very, very into a present moment. And that's part of what somatic awareness is actually just being willing to be present with your body in that moment, which it's incredible how many people have a hard time doing that. And rightfully so. There's not necessarily something wrong with it. It's just that we live in a society that has really made it hard and challenging to be in our bodies all the time. Another way is through things like yoga or qigong is another really good thing for somatic awareness, because these are movement practices that also have conscious awareness or conscious thought put into the movement practice. So it's not necessarily that that it's like this movement's gonna help you to like be more flexible or whatever the thing is for. It's actually specifically to address somatic awareness, where just through doing a certain pose or asana, you're opening up into your body, you're finding something out about your body, and through that process you gain somatic awareness. Same thing with qigong. For those of you who don't know what that is, it's kind of like tai chi, but the tai chi is a martial art, and qigong is actually used for self-healing or for kind of like helping to work with the body's self. And you're still using your body's kind of source energy and receiving energy into yourself to kind of wrap around how your body works, and you can really access cool emotional aspects of your body through qigong as well. The other one, and I've kind of already said this, but the other one is meditation. Just by sitting and being still, you can use breath as your meditation, but really just by sitting and being still, coming into that present moment, you're gaining somatic awareness, especially if make meditation about somatic awareness. You can actually just sit in sort of silence, but the one thing that you're focusing on is, what do I feel in my body? How do I feel in my body? Like, where does this come from? If I'm feeling this thing, where is that thing coming from? Just by asking yourself, meditating on these sort of somatically based questions can really help open things up. So finally, this is the more complicated, or I shouldn't say complicated, it's the more complex one. And that's moving deeply into an emotion. And so this is really great for people to do with someone, because sometimes moving deeply into an emotion can be hard to do on your own. And so having someone to hold space with you while you move deeply into an emotion can be really beneficial for both people, actually. And so say the emotion that you're working with is anger. You're gonna move deep into that emotion. You're gonna think about things that have made you angry. If you have anger that's present with you, you can feel angry right now and allow your body to have access to that anger. It's not just about all of it being here. Like, what's happening in your body when you get angry? I know for myself, when I get angry, I tend to I feel a lot right in the kind of near the armpits on both sides, a lot in my stomach, kind of a lot in my root as well. My head tends to get hot, back of my neck kind of starts to go haywire, and so these are all the areas where I tend to feel a lot of anger when that's in my body. And actually, I had a friend, I don't get angry very easily, but I do get angry when cars cut me off as a pedestrian. And so it's like, it's the one thing that just totally ticks me off. And that happened not too long ago. And a car like cut me off, and just everything got really, really big really quickly. And I was like, I got really upset. It's so funny that like these triggers for the things that like make us pissed off. And I think I've said this in past videos, anger is important. Anger establishes boundary. I think a lot of us societally, we say, oh, anger is bad, but don't let yourself get angry. That's toxic, or whatever the things are. Don't listen to that. Anger is a boundary. It's really important. What gets toxic, or what maybe is less healthy, but also can be necessary sometimes, are things like resentment and rage. Anger turns into resentment and rage if anger is not dealt with, or if anger isn't felt. And so that's just a little tidbit on anger. But yeah, so move into the emotion as deeply as you can. A lot of times on the table, what I'll do is when someone's working with anger, again, we'll just keep going down that example, I'll have them make fists, make everything really tight, feel their anger. I'll have them punch the table, or punch whatever is around. Kind of having something soft is nice so you don't hurt yourself, but really to feel it, so you know what's going on in your body, so you can feel whatever it is that's getting angry, and let it come to a full peak, to a full climax. And again, that's why it's nice to have someone there, so that when it's time to bring it back, there's someone there that's holding space that can kind of help settle you. And as body workers, that's our job, to kind of notice where the peak is, and notice that that peak has been reached, and to help settle people so that they don't get stuck in that, or so they don't get afraid of their own anger, whatever various things could happen in that dynamic. So yeah, allowing the whole emotion to blossom so that people can feel it both in their heads and in their bodies. And while they're in that somatic experience, ask questions, find out what's going on. So you're angry, where do you feel that? If they say, I still don't feel it, ask them again, be like, there's your anger. What's happening in your anger? What's happening in your body? What's tightening the most? And there's no wrong answer here. Someone might say, like, I feel it on my pinky toe. And that is not a wrong answer. If they say they feel their anger in their pinky toe, that is a correct answer. I think people get so caught up in, oh, well, anger is definitely felt here, or in Chinese medicine, anger has to do with inflammation of the liver, or it's excess liver, and so heat, and so if that starts to happen, and people kind of corner where anger is supposed to be, then that makes where someone feels anger in their body potentially wrong, and there's no such thing as that. We are all individuals, and no matter what we feel where, that's legitimate. And so really, really listen to that. So I think that's all for today. I really would love any comments. Again, if you have any questions, I'm so happy to help answer. Also, be on the lookout for my salon. You can go to my website, www.bodyisabook.com, for the salon that I'm going to be hosting at my house, or you can send me an email and I'm happy to send you the address. I am asking for RSVPs so I know how many people will be there. I will be serving tea. You'll be able to meet me, and someone from the group of people who come will also volunteer to get a little body work done so you can see how this stuff looks like live. And yeah, again, if you like the video, like, comment, share, subscribe, all the things, and thank you again for tuning in. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. Bye-bye.